What up, everyone? You know who I am. I'm Jack Slater, the comic outlaw. Yeah. And it's time for a little fun. You know your boy's into very bad things. Yep. And so, as I was glancing my wonderfully huge video library, I came across this little gem. And I just had to share it with you guys. This came out back in the 90s, the early 90s. 7, somewhere around there, 6. And it has Christian Slater, Cameron Diaz, Jon Favreau, Piven, fucking all kinds of different people, Daniel Stern. And in case you guys don't know, Daniel Stern is the other butthole from Home Alone, the other guy that falls and slips and breaks his ass. Check it out. Now, you're asking yourselves, why? Why would I do a review about this movie? Well, it's about 5 guys, okay? Oh yeah, Jon Favreau's in it. And Jon Favreau, in case you guys don't know, I'm going to drop this knowledge on you because this is a comic book show. He's the guy that directed Iron Man. Not only that, he's the motherfucker that brought in Robert Downey Jr. That's right. Because at this point, Robert had a lot of skeletons in his closet. Nobody really wanted to touch the actor or insure the actor, but Favreau was the one that gave him the big boost. And they've been friends ever since. Favreau's, kind of a Happy Hogan. That's what he's known as in the Marvel Universe. But before he was Happy Hogan, he was knee deep in shit in this situation. Alright, it's about 5 guys, right? Favreau is the main guy. He's marrying Cameron Diaz. And Cameron Diaz is kind of an overbearing bitch. To say the least. And they're going to Vegas. And Christian Slater's character is kind of like, his name's Boyd. He is the one that kind of organizes this. This is kind of just a one last trip between guys, So 2 brothers, of course, they don't get along, Daniel Stern and Piven. And, of course, some weirdo friend of Favreau's. And they all get together. They go to Vegas. And they start having a good time. They start drinking. Cocaine is being thrown in the air like snow. Everyone's making it rain. You know what I'm saying? There's money coming down. And these guys are as high as an airplane. If you know what I'm saying. Anyways. Boyd decides that he's going to get a little entertainment for the boys. So he ends up calling a stripper. Oh my God. Cute little Asian number. So she starts shaking her tail feather, doing her thing. And of course, Boyd offers Favreau, I'm paying for everything, dude. It's all in the house for you. But one of the other guys decides that he's going to take a ride. Good old Piven. And he jumps on it. Apache, jump on it. Unfortunately, he accidentally ends up killing her by slipping on the bathroom floor and her head goes. Yes, indeed. So, they're in a fucked up situation. And what do you do in a situation like that? Well, I'll tell you. Do you call the cops? Yeah. Well, while they're debating this, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do and who's going to get the blame for this and what's going on and why. Well, a security guard shows up. And through by circumstances, since they don't want to get caught, they end up killing his ass too. Indeed. Now you see why it's called Very Bad Things. So they bury the bodies out in the desert. They put them in suitcases, cut them up, and bury them in the desert. Thinking that's going to be that. But infighting in the group. Guilt in the group. Especially from Daniel Stern's character, who's a very high-strung motherfucker. Oh, I haven't said spoilers on. Well, I'm sorry. Fuck you. La 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 la. Anyways. His character begins to get nervous. He's one of those paranoid types. He starts thinking there's cops everywhere. And it starts to bring the boys down. they're starting to wonder, if they're gonna get caught for this. So Boyd, who's kind of like this loud, arrogant, one of my favorite characters. He believes in willpower. Like, I love the speech like he gives after we bury the bodies. He's all, "We all stand and delivered." Oh my god. But anyways, it turns into a thing where the guys kind of have to decide if they're going to get rid of certain other friends. So one by one, the friend group starts to shrink, or they start to die. That is. For example, Daniel Stern's character ends up getting hit by Piven's character, the brothers, because he was all pissed off at him in a fit of rage. He hit him with the van because he said he was going to rat on everyone, especially him. So he ends up dying. Piven feels guilty, takes a bunch of pills, decides he's going to turn himself in. Boyd decides he ends up shooting him, and of course Daniel Stern's wife, because he had a little deathbed confession. And so, like I said, the circle of friends shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. And keep in mind, Cameron Diaz is in full bitch mode. So she's literally up Jon Favreau's ass. Like, she's Jim Henson, and he's Kermit the Frog, and she's just working that shit. So it's kind of like who's going to end up standing. Now, unfortunately, Favreau ends up inheriting the kids, Stern's kids, and one of them's kind of crippled, and the other one's, an asshole. Both of them are like little shits, which is kind of horrible for him. But anyways, Boyd ends up kind of trying to kill Favreau for the insurance money, which there was none. Diaz ends up beating the fuck out of him with a hat rack at the wedding. They don't have the ring. They have to go back and get the ring from Boyd's body. Like I said, this movie's fucked up. And as they're going to get rid of Boyd, Favreau and the weird guy get into a car accident and become crippled, leaving Cameron Diaz with a crippled husband that can't walk, another crippled friend that she has to take care of, and 2 kids that just make her fucking life miserable. What a happy ending. I'm glossing over a lot of shit because I want you guys to see this movie. It's actually worth seeing. If you've never seen it, see, look, those are the guys right there. Favreau, Stern, Boyd, the weirdo, Piven. I never really learned that guy's name. See if we can find it. Fuck it, doesn't matter. I never really saw him in anything else after this anyways. I recommend this movie is a little bit of a horror, is a little bit of comedy, and it's just extremely fucked up. I mean, it's just one of those movies where you're just watching like, damn, that's fucked up, but it's funny at the same time. So, is it a horror movie? Is it a comedy? I'll leave that for you to decide. I just think it's a damn good movie. Christian Slater is on it. Christian Slater is actually a pretty good actor. He's in Mr. Robot. It's actually a pretty decent show. And I pulled this out of the library and I was like, wow, I gotta tell the audience about this. I have to spread the word and let you guys know. If you ever come across this movie, it's worth watching. It's one hell of a fucked up movie. I'm telling you that. And it teaches you a very important lesson. If you're gonna bang a hooker in the bathroom, always make sure the floor is not wet. That's a very important lesson. And if you're going to bury a body, make sure there ain't no high-strung motherfucker that's going to panic each and every time you guys do something bad. That's bad for the gang. That's bad for morale. Especially when you're trying to get away with shit. You know what I'm saying? But yes, this movie, very bad things. And it's, like I said, it's an early Cameron Diaz movie. You get to see her all vivacious and fun. And the thing is that she's, in a lot of her movies, she doesn't play a bitch. You know, this gave her the opportunity to like sort of spread her wings and kind of go into bitch mode. Because in like a lot of movies like Charlie's Angels or this and that, she's sort of the fun girl or the happy girl, or you know, this gave her an opportunity to just be a bitch, and it worked out really well for her. It kind of like set the trend for movies that she made later on. So, like I said, Very Bad Things, great movie. Recommend watching it. And you know who I am. I'm Jack Slater, man. The comic outlaw. I want you to spread that word, man. Subscribe. Let me know what's going on out there. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side.